Welcome to Two Humans Talking, the podcast that discusses the struggles of being healthy in this modern, fast paced world. I'm Tiffany Sims, your Disney loving nutritionist and high performance coach. I love simplifying health for women who have no time to do anything else. And Chelsea?
I'm Chelsea Scroggins. I am your yoga teacher and motivational speaker, and I love talking, period. But I especially love talking about things that enhance the life. And I love to motivate people in a world full of I can't to teach you how you can. I think that's so important to build confidence and self-love. And
Love it.
speaking of that, today I want to talk about wins and honoring your wins, no matter how big or small they are, and just honoring your progress, not comparing yourself to others, honoring yourself and what your wins are. And we'll start with you, Tiff. Was there any specific wins of the week that you could share with all of us, or me?
For those of
And me, not or, and me.
for those of you who are not behind the scenes, Chelsea and I were chit-chatting before we hit play, and I have already laughed, I've already cried, so I'm excited for this episode because this is as real as it gets. It's all me and all Chelsea. Like, this is it. And so you will not believe what happened this morning. So I'm scrolling Facebook as humans do when they're not ready to get going and just killing time. And so there was a post in my feed that caught my attention, and there I wasn't going to share actually what it says, but you know what? I'm just going to go do it. And so it said, I pray that no one ever goes on another expedition to the Titanic. This was a horrible tragedy, and why would we, something along those lines of we should never, I hope that this is forbidden, and basically taking people's choices away. And
Right.
there's a lot. It is June 23rd of 2023. We have spent this week tracking a submarine that had died down to the Titanic.
Right.
And so that's what, but it was lost. And there's a lot of stuff on the internet about people saying how stupid people are. It must be nice to people just throw your money away. Oh, the rich people got what they were asking for being dumb. They deserve to die. There's just all this stuff.
That's so negative. Yeah.
Wow. Well, anyway, this person was like, I pray that it is now illegal to send people to below the depths of the ocean. And I thought to myself, and I had just commented very conversationally because I was just curious about the conversation. And I was like, I find it something along the lines of I am struggling with my words because this man was not nice to me. And so I can feel it in the inside. I'm trying to buffer and correct and make myself sound perfect. But and so I'm honoring myself right now.
Good. And honor your win for, posting your opinion. I think that's valuable. So I commend you for that. A lot of people are afraid to do that. So yeah, tell us what you said.
Very kindly and more conversationally than attackatory. I was like, I wonder, it's interesting. I would never want to be the person who determines what someone else can or can't do, or the risks that they can or can't take. And I had talked about all these people are having all these opinions about this $20,000 price tag to go dive to the bottom of the ocean, 2.5 miles underwater. And there's a risk. They knew there was a risk.
Mm-hmm.
Why as a society do we think that we should dictate what risks other people should take because it makes us uncomfortable? Safaris, for example, and I had used this example in my post, a safari, we know that wild animals are wild. We know
Right.
that the animal is not going to like us being on the vehicle, going through the
Right.
wild, and that there's a risk of attack, and that attack could lead in death. But those people who go on safaris choose that risk for the adventure. And I would really hate someone to be like, it's unsafe to go into the wild. We stay in our little bubbles and take my ability of what risk I'm willing to take for an adventure away.
Right.
And I was really just, like I said, conversational. I feel like I'm rambling right now. Um, and the guy was like, "It's called an opinion. Have you heard of one?" And then deleted and blocked me. And I was
Wow.
just, my whole insides went, because like that was also my opinion, and I was having a conversation. I wasn't saying you were wrong. I was
Right.
opening the door for a conversation. And so when that guy, like, it felt very personal. It
Hmm.
felt icky. My whole insides went, this is what we get. We shouldn't open our mouths. Don't have an opinion. Don't speak up. You might ruffle someone's feathers. Someone might not like you. You're not safe. That's what went through my whole body, and my whole body in like half a second. And logically, I've done the work. I know that's not true. But emotionally, my body at the cellular level still is the person who says it's unsafe, knows it's unsafe, but because of my past, like of
Right.
made fun of when I got answers wrong in class, or speaking up and being told to be quiet, that your opinion doesn't matter here in my previous workplace. Like, so my cells hold that. Well, I'm logically smart and know that,
Right.
like, good riddance. Thanks for getting yourself out of my feed. Like, it's cool. Um, my cells went to survival mode, which is, we're not safe. Let's shrink back in and be quiet. And
So,
I
what is your win taking away from this? What are you choosing to continue to do, no matter how he made you feel in that moment?
that one, my intentions were pure and I wasn't trying to ruffle feathers. And so that's important to know, because there are times when our intentions are to be rude and mean. My
It's
intentions were
true.
pure. My intentions were to have a conversation. Two, celebrating that it's okay. It doesn't mean that there's something broken or something wrong, that my body and my brain are on two different fields. It just means that
Mhm.
there's more work for me to do to let my body know that it's safe and that I'm going to take care of it no matter what, that I'm not a little girl who needs saving.
Right.
And that's a huge win.
It's a
I
huge win.
Yeah,
You
like I
know that I
go ahead.
and just saying that it's a huge win is huge in itself, because a lot of people think, here's some people struggle with even just walking outside, okay,
Mhm.
because they're so fearful of what could happen to them, even walking to the mailbox, okay, just like opening the door is so fearful for some out there. And so just being able to turn that knob, open the door, and walk outside is a huge win. And I think we don't honor our wins enough, no matter how small they are. We
Yes.
pass judgment on ourselves from what others might think. Oh, that's stupid, or that's not a win. You didn't, skydive. You didn't do this extreme thing. So how is that a win? And that's kind of what I wanted to bring up this week, is how that right there, Tiff, is a huge win, because you're not going to close up inside. You're still hopefully going to put your opinion out there from time to time, especially when you know that you're just being genuine, being who you are, and still showing up as yourself, and you're not going to change who you are. That will be a big win for you if you continue to do that. And then also honoring the fact that that is that person's opinion. And I hope you shook it off and realized that, you can't change the way they think or, take things, but you also can't take it personally, because it's not your crap to digest.
It
It's
wasn't.
not your. And what was that?
Yeah, but it's not my baggage. And so my baggage in that moment was that my body felt unsafe and wanted to wither away. And I think that that happens a lot when
I
we're,
do too.
yeah, and so like it I just wanted to bring that up because I used to think there was something wrong with me. Like, why am I
Hmm.
responding this way? Why do I feel this way? But we can't always control our feelings,
It's
because
true.
our bodies, our cells have memories. Like, as crazy as that sounds, the cells
It's
have
real.
memory, kind of like memory foam. Like, there's impressions in there, and it takes a lot for them to decode some of that fight
Mhm.
or flight response. And it's why the nervous system is such a key part in the work that I do. Because if you're always in that fight or flight mode, lots of cortisol, lots of habits of like comforting yourself with food or other poor habits.
Right.
I just wanted to bring it up today because I know I'm not the only one who had good intentions and then someone made them feel that feeling of unsafe. I need to be quiet. And I just wanted to give a voice to those feelings, especially if logically you knew it was irrational to feel that way. And that, like, at the end of the day, I didn't know that guy on the internet from a hole in the wall and his opinion didn't matter.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I think that's a win. And I don't think we talk about those physical reactions enough
It's
and
true.
normalize them.
And I feel like another win is we don't like go through our emotions. Like we have our emotions and people like, just stop feeling that way. Like stop, suck it up, and it's like that's not right. I think it's valid to have the emotions that you have, and to be able to process them is a huge win. And once you start working on yourself and processing your emotions and your feelings and your body and why it's doing what it's doing and understanding it, like that's a mega win. So I'm very proud of you for taking it. Didn't take you as long to recognize. I mean,
No,
you
it was
still like,
it
"Ooh,"
happened, and
but then you
as my body was feeling that way, logically, I was like, Tiffany, you're safe. It's okay. You're allowed to have an opinion. Like, but I honored, like I did. And for people who might be starting their journey of doing the work or haven't started, you're gonna be like, this sounds so woo-woo. What is wrong with you? But if you're in your journey, you're gonna be like, oh yes, girl, yes.
I
Um,
remember that moment.
but I sat there and very quickly and nonchalantly and subconsciously, like my hand went to my heart. I was like,
Good.
I got this, and we moved on. But it was like that, like I honored, you have to honor the feeling. I think, like you were saying, so often it's stuff it away, it's not right, it's ridiculous to
Mhm.
feel that way. But sometimes there's a reason, and sometimes it's your past, sometimes it's your body just saying something's not right and trying to warn you to protect you. And so when we turn it off and we stop listening, then we really don't hear the really big fire, like alarm cues that we should have been picking up on. So honor it, even if it feels silly and stupid. Like, yep, that's how I felt. That was a valid feeling, and we're
And
good.
be proud of yourself for, you know, coming through that victory, no matter how big or small it is. I mean, be proud of yourself for not snapping at somebody for their opinion. Be proud of yourself for walking out the door, no matter what your mind's saying internally. Be proud of yourself for waking up on days that are just so hard to wake up. Be proud of yourself for getting on the mat, doing your daily practice, doing your exercise. Be proud of yourself for taking one foot in front of the other and just walking and getting through the day, because sometimes you just have to take it moment by moment.
Are huge.
They're huge. They add up so quickly too. Small wins add up so quickly.
And because they're not big flashy things that you can put on a billboard and shout from the rooftops of like, hey, look at me, I did this thing, they get underrated and overlooked. You don't even realize all of the wins you have in your day because you're like, well, I do that every day. Or that's just how it is. Or no one else is going to do that. Like I've just been doing that since I was 12. Like take a like pause for a second
And
and not
honor your victories.
all the stuff I did to your spouse when you feel like they're not holding their weight, but like for yourself, like when you're beating yourself, it's like look at all of these little micro moments throughout the day that seem so insignificant, but I did that. I should.
Amen. Dust your shoulders off, or pat yourself on the shoulder, dust your shoes off, be proud of yourself. So with that being said, we are starting a raffle here at Two Humans Talking, and we want you to drop your takeaway down in the comments below. And with that takeaway, we're going to put your name in a drawing and eventually draw for $100 gift card.
Yes. comments for gift cards, but it's got to be valuable. Like, I want to know what you actually learned today, your big takeaway.
That's wonderful. Thank you so much for being here. And we will see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.